So you're thinking about moving to Celina, Texas? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang of Celina, Texas. And it is Celina, not Celina. And if you're a real estate agent, you should say it correctly as well. All right. So I know a lot of real estate agents watch this channel, but I tell you what, if you're looking in Celina, yes, inventory is low. Everything is crazy. It's a competitive market, but we've already helped 72 families this year win homes in the North Dallas area. Now think about that, 72 families, over one family per day, we are helping win homes. And when I say win homes, I mean win homes, because we are seeing 15, 20, 25 offers per home in the Frisco, Prosper, and Celina area. It's nuts out there, but you got to have the best team working for you whenever you put in an offer here. So we're going to kind of talk about the good and the bad, what's going on in Celina, Texas, and we're getting after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, you want to know everything there is about living in Dallas, Texas, and the surrounding areas like Celina, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market here in Dallas. And my name is Levi, my partner Travis, the team and I, we get calls, text, emails every single day from people just like you and you and you and you. Looking to make their move to Dallas. We love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Happy to help you make that smooth move to Dallas. So as I mentioned, we're talking about Celina, Texas. Yes, if you're not sure where Celina is, it's just north of Prosper. And of course, Prosper is north of Frisco. Now, most of the time, everybody that calls us always ask about Frisco first. But I'll tell you what, Frisco's pretty much sold out. Prosper's pretty much sold out. Well, I mean, Celina's pretty much sold out in addition to that. So the thing is that inventory is extremely low. It's very difficult right now. I've shared with you in the last couple of videos, especially, the market crash, and also what was the other one I just came out with? Well, it was a good one, I'll tell you that. But I showed some comparisons of how inventory was 42% lower just going through January and February compared to last year. Now that means almost 50% decrease in inventory. And here's the thing. They say across the nation right now, the stats are there's only 1.5 million homes for sale, but there's 7 million active buyers. So think about that. That's at a minimum. If you're looking at a house, probably going to have at least 7 offers on that house compared to the one you have. So you have to be very diligent about making an offer and putting your best foot forward. That's very important. So we're going to talk about, again, a couple of good things here in Celina. Now, one of the biggest cons is completely sold out. New construction, very hard to come by. However, this is something that, where working with the right team really comes into play, because we have relationships with these builders and these communities all around. Plus, we have several of our team members very embedded in those areas, and they get all of the inside information as far as understanding what's coming to market, what's about to come to market, off-market properties, people that want to sell their homes but don't want to necessarily, get it out there for everybody and their dog to come running through on one weekend. So, we're coming across these opportunities all the time. Not all the time, most of the time. Let me say that, because even for us, it's still a challenge. I will tell you that. I mean, it is a challenge even for our team, the fact that we have been very successful getting these homes. But the thing is that look at Celina. If you can't get a home in there right now, this is a big time pro. Right now, the population is just over 30,000 people. And only 10 years ago, it was around 10,000. So tripled in size in the last 10 years. But here's the situation. Celina, the max population as far as building opportunity there and growth is 378,000 people. Think about that. 30,000 now, 378,000 capacity for population growth. And Frisco only has a population of around 200,000. So Celina has the opportunity to be twice the size. And I'll share with you why. So if we look at Celina here on the map, then you'll get an idea. And you can see though, look at all this space. Okay. It's very parceled out. So you have Celina here. I mean, this is very parceled out, but that's a lot of opportunity all around here. I mean, this is like a jigsaw puzzle piece, Celina. There's even parts of it that go right around here. Basically, you can see all this area Okay, that probably made no sense right there, but you can see this, all the highlighted area in there. So when you have all that room for growth, oops, sorry about that. You see all that green space. This is something that I've talked about several times in these other videos, like the market crash or housing bubble, or should I wait to buy? That was the last video, by the way. You know, all this green space, you think about this as you look here on this Google map, that you see all this green space, that growth can continue to happen. So this is the thing. If you've ever heard your parents or your grandparents say, well, I wish I would have bought that house 20 years ago, or I wish I would have bought that acreage 10 years ago, or I wish I would have bought that 10, 15, 20, you know, that's what's going on right now in Celina. 30,000 people, growth ability up to 378,000. So you think about the opportunity there is pretty tremendous for appreciation and home value, and you know, being able to take advantage of lower prices right now. So I know what you see all over YouTube right now is a lot of you see a lot of videos about market crash and everything going, but with all that green space in Celina and outside of Celina, there's a huge opportunity for growth. And with the amount of homes on the market and active buyers, it's just a supply and demand issue. There's a shortage of inventory. And so I don't see a market crash coming in Dallas, at least anytime soon, especially since we have so many corporations and people moving here every single day. Over 300 people moving to the Dallas area every single day. That's a lot. We definitely don't have that many homes on the market to accommodate all of them. Plus we have all the people that are renting right now that are sitting in the shadows waiting to buy as soon as more inventory comes on top of it. So even if the migration stops or slows, I mean, it won't, but even if it were to, you have a lot of renters kind of hanging around ready to buy. But so these are good things about Celina, but on the downside is a downside of Celina is it's under construction. Pretty much all of it is. Again, if I go back to that screen and show you the Dallas tollway right here, you can see how it's yellow. It's mostly completed through here in Prosper, but it's still under construction. It's going to extend all the way up here. You see it even on the map, it has a stop point right there. So kind of like mid Celina, even right there, they're still building all of this. Now, once that Dallas North Tollway is complete, property value is going to go up significantly. So that is a big deal. So if I go back to the screen here and show you, a lot of this is all this land right here has been recently bought up, like almost 8,000 acres. I know they're starting to do a master planned mixed use development, commercial apartments, almost like a domain type setting. I don't know if I've heard of that, to where they just take over acreage and build massive amounts of commercial and apartments and condos and all of that, just make everything very ideal for everybody to live right there in that one area. So that's what's going to be happening along that whole area of the tollway. On top of that, just north of Celina, let me get this out of the way and zoom out a little bit. You know, you have Sherman. Look at this, Sherman. So Texas Instruments they're building a $30 billion facility there. So that is spurring a ton of growth in Sherman, and eventually all of this green space in between Sherman and Celina will become commercial. Same thing along 75 here. You know, Melissa and Anna are becoming very popular right now. Again, we have a local expert in those areas. On top of it, Van Alstyne as well. These areas are becoming more popular because, again, this is why I think housing will all likely stay mostly in check here, because you have that opportunity to continue to grow outward. So that is a good thing and a bad thing for Celina as well. But, you know, you're going to get into these good opportunities with Celina. So otherwise, you know, there's a lot of upside to moving to Celina. It still has a little bit of a small town feel. It's got one of the best downtown historic, areas. I love that part of Celina. Some really good coffee shops over there, barbecue, and just boutique shopping. Really cool little historic square. You know, other than that, you're going to have to travel down to Prosper, Frisco. That would be a downside. There's not a lot of extensive commercial in Celina. Now you have everything you need to get by on a daily basis, but if you really want to go to the mall or some of the high-end shops, or just do some activities and things along those lines, instead of just riding four-wheelers out in the fields, but then you'll need to venture down to Prosper and Celina, so you'll have to take a little bit of a drive there. Other than that, getting up to Sherman, but you're close to lakes as well. But there's just so much opportunity happening in Celina. But here's I'm going to close this out with, is that if you're calling around Celina and they're telling you there's 300, 400, 500 person waiting list for these new construction communities, that is the case. And if you're calling in, sorry to say, but they don't have, you're just a phone call at that point. Now, the thing is that because we have these relationships with these builders, then we're the ones that understand or know whenever properties come back on the market or they fall out of contract. Because you think about that during the building process, a lot of homes fall out of contract because, people decide not to move. Maybe their job decides not to move them. Maybe they can't move. Maybe they have a financial strain. Maybe anything can change over the course of that build project for that home. So homes come out of contract all the time. And we're the ones that actually scoop them up for our clients because of the relationships we have in place. And they always reach out to us first because they know we have qualified buyers. You see, if you call in, they really don't know much about you, and it's not in their best interest to try to pre-qualify 500 people, right? And then they have to go in. And so they would rather call someone like ourselves, who we have, hundreds, probably about 150 active buyers that we're constantly working with throughout our team. And so they know if they call me, immediately I know exactly who fits the criteria for that house. That's really important. So they know, hey, I can just call Levi or Travis, and they probably have the buyer for me. Versus if they go down that list and they start calling the list, then they call one person, that person says, oh, I already bought a house. They call the next person, oh, I already bought a house. Oh, I call the next person, oh, I already bought a house. Or I'm not in the market anymore. So they don't want to go through and try to call 20, 30 people to try to find one person that says, oh yeah, well, I can't even visit because I'm out of state, so I won't be there for another 2 weeks, right? So does that make sense for them to go that route? Or does it make sense for them to say, hey, Levi, I just had one come on the market. It's 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,500 square feet. It's about $685,000. You got, and I'll be like, yes, I do. I got the perfect person for you. And that's easy for them to do. So, people always usually follow the path of least resistance, and that's just the reality of it. So that's why I'm saying, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, let us know, get on our list so that we can help you find a home. If you're having trouble securing some new construction in Frisco, Prosper, Celina, we can absolutely help you do that. Okay. So I hope you found this helpful. That's kind of a little overview on Celina and the good and the bad, everything that's going on. Otherwise, if you do buy in Celina right now, I think it's more good than bad. So, just let us know if we can help you out in any way. And until next time, well, I hope to show you around town.